We're joined here tonight by a special guest analyst, Mr. Gordy Tepper, a master of New Paltz sports himself. Welcome, Gordy.
Thank you very much, Phil. It's a pleasure to be here. Good evening, everybody.
And this is the first time we've worked together, as we.
I believe so.
Wow. Which is actually quite strange. Do we have this on tape right now,
yes,
Larry?
We do. History in the making.
You know something? The tape is rolling, and whenever I'm on the air, it is history in the making.
And it's actually 2 out of 3 of the last 3 hosts of Issues on the Edge are in here right now, which is actually good.
I'm sure that
everyone already figured that out by now.
Our audience is absolutely thrilled to hear that information.
We'll get right into sports. Where do we start with? We're going to start with SUNY, I guess?
I guess we'll start with the SUNY New Paltz Hawks.
The phone number first.
Oh, yes, 845.
Well, wait a minute. Before you give out the phone number, wouldn't you want to give them something to talk about before you tell them to call? It's like radio etiquette, my friends.
No, actually, you want them to call in with their stuff.
They're going to call. They don't even know what they're calling for. If you say, okay, tonight, we're going to talk about the New Paltz Ice Hawks, blah, 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 and if you want to join the conversation, then you give them the number. You don't give them the number first, because now you're going to get, whatever happened to Slava Fetisov, Give them something to talk about before they call.
I'm being taught by our guest.
Great one. So as Bonnie Raitt once sang, let's give them something to talk about.
Exactly. So give them something to talk about, then you give the number.
SUNY New Paltz swimming this weekend.
Now the phones are going to light up.
845-257-3090 is the phone number to call if you'd like to talk anything. Let's talk sports.
I like that, the 3090. I usually say 3090.
It's the standard here also.
What is the 3090? But Phil does it his way.
Hey, he's a loner.
He's a rebel.
And the Edge's own Frank Sinatra. Do it my way.
What are they thinking? Well, first of all,
I didn't see the results of today's draft at all.
I saw the first 15 picks before we were doing news before, and Tony Vaselli, #1 overall. Hurt all the time last 2 seasons.
Tony Vaselli, wasn't he on Who's the Boss?
No.
Samantha.
He makes too much money, and I don't know what they're thinking.
I know. What are they paying Tony Danza these days? Did you notice that on every show he was ever on, his name was Tony?
No.
He's so stupid that whatever show he's on, be it Taxi or Who's the Boss, he's got to be called Tony. It's like, you ever see The Simpsons when they have the witness relocation program?
Yeah.
And it's the Thompsons now. So it's Homer, you are now Homer Thompson. And you can't grasp that concept. I think Tony Danza could
change the theme to
the Thompsons. Very good, Larry. You know your Simpsons. I'm very impressed. All right, go ahead.
What else have the Texans got, Jerry? How do we just go from the Houston Texans to Tony Danza? No idea.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Their second pick was Alyssa Milano.
No. No, I don't have those in front of me. But
that was actually my first pick.
The women's basketball team, last year, they were a playoff team. They had all the tools it looked like, and all their tools were young. They were all freshmen or sophomores. They lost their 2 post players, both of which were young, one of which went back to England, one of which stopped going to school, I believe, and they lost their top point guard, who was probably the best player in the history of this program, in Brittany Bishop.
So is it safe to say the toolbox is now empty?
But
what are you talking about? Girls and toolboxes and Brittany? I don't know.
I never said Brittany.
Thing. You lost me with Brittany.
I really think this team is going to be heard from. They had enough tools on this team this year. I'm going to use the toolbox.
Oh, my goodness. He just called a bunch of the girls in the basketball team tools.
I did not.
You did?
You know
I heard you say it.
And knowing Phil being the voice of the Hawks the whole entire season, coming out right after the season.
He just said it.
That's it. There's Phil's parting shot.
We go back to the tape.
I think this team is going to be very good next year.
I think they're
really.
All the girls are a bunch of tools.
They're not a bunch of tools. They're very nice young ladies.
Seems like, I don't know if you guys know these schools. Johnson and Wales.
Heard of that?
Heard of them.
MIT.
Heard of them.
Heard of them. Riviera.
No.
Have you guys heard of that?
The Riviera in Las Vegas, the hotel?
Nope, just Riviera. And then they actually beat the host school after losing to them the previous night, and they basically defended their championship from last year.
Against the Mirage?
No,
or the Bellagio? Treasure Island.
What I want to mention is the New Paltz men's and women's track. There's another championship that happened this weekend. Was the indoor championships for track and field.
Correct?
Yes, at Hobart. Hobart, excuse me. Andrea Dreis placed second in the women's shot put. And Sarah Jokey, who is a national anthem singer.
Hurry up, Larry. I'm missing Robot Wars with Julie Lauer.